Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the studio. Today we got the new Losi Sprint car. This thing looks pretty sweet. My buddy Brian picked this up Thursday. He is out of town and he gave me permission to run it. So we're going to do this running video here in just a minute. First off, just a couple of basic details. The car does come ready to run. There's 3 liveries. The red one comes with a battery and a charger, so it's a little bit more. Then the 2 optional colors will be the pink and blue, and then the green. Both of those don't come with a battery. First impressions, this thing is very scale. It's pretty heavy due to the body. The body is all molded. He does have the Lexan body on pre-order. It's going to be a Pro Line or a Protoform, I believe. I think it's Pro Line. It's going to be like 115 grams lighter. But if you were to race this thing in a spec class or just bash it around in your yard, this body is definitely going to be a lot more durable. It does come with the header panel to take the wing off, make it a wingless Sprint. It has a decal to wrap it. I got it right here somewhere, but either way, it's got a little block off plate to put on the roof, and it's got a sticker that matches your paint scheme. So that's pretty cool. If I was going to run this car, like if we were going to run our local carpet track, I would definitely lose the wing and go wingless Sprint. That would be awesome on the carpet track. But it does, again, it comes with your basic stuff. You got your little toolkit, like your little 4-way, and your instructions and your user manual. And then this giant decal sheet of numbers, and you can put your name, all the individual letters here. I would imagine you'd have to cut this number off because I think it's all screen printed. So you'd have to cut that out if you wanted to change the number on this paint scheme. I don't think you'd ever want to do that. I just imagine you get a wrap or wait for the Lexan body and do your own thing. All right, let's go over some of the scale features. The first thing that catches my eye is the driver. The driver figure is painted. His seat belts are a separate color. The seat's a different color. His gloves have detail. The helmet even has the vents painted on the nose there. And I imagine some of you modelers could get pretty creative with the helmet designs. It does have the radius arm steering, or whatever they call that on a sprint car. I don't know the exact term. But it is not attached to the steering. It's just there for looks. You got your metallized headers and chrome Nerf bars. That's all plastic but plated. Got mud plugs on the right wheels. They're screwed on, so they're not going to fly off. They do have those in different colors, I do believe, or you could paint them or wrap them. Easy enough with some vinyl. Got your nice big bore threaded shock bodies, orange and purple. I'm not sure what the weight of that spring is. I'm sure Losi has a spring chart somewhere. And probably one of the coolest features is the quick release body. We'll try to do this with one hand. You just pull back on your fuel cell and bingo bango, the body is off. What's underneath the body is a 22 buggy based car. It does have a left side chassis, or LTO style chassis with the battery on the left. Your Spectrum brushless system, and I like seeing this receiver because this receiver will bind to any of your older Spectrum radios. So if you have a little bit more race inspired radio or a little more adjustments than the standard SL2 or SLT, whatever it is it comes with, this little majobber, that opens up a lot more tuning ability if you got a more race inspired radio. That is a 3300 kV motor. That's pretty much standard of what a lot of RTR dirt oval cars, I believe the Associated cars have a 3300 Reedy system in them. I think that's about equivalent to about a 13.5 maybe. Servo looks a little tall, but it clears everything. It's a Spectrum servo. I'm not sure what the specs on it are. I'm sure that barcode may take you somewhere. Haven't got that far yet. But yeah, they do have an optional chassis on the flyer in their instructions, carbon fiber parts and pieces. Hopefully they will start releasing those soon. I know the Losi NASCAR came out and they had all these option parts, and the parts were like months after the car, so hopefully those will be released soon enough. We did get an adapter because I don't have any IC5 connector batteries. I got my old school Deans. Just got an adapter at the hobby shop while we were down there, and that way we can run this thing today. So without further ado, let's go set up a track. Alright guys, before we get started, we're going to do the GNSS just to see how fast this thing is. I don't have throttle trim, but it seems a little touchy. I just touched it. We might need to recalibrate maybe. But either way, we're going to take it easy. We're going to give it benefit of the doubt. We're probably going to go downhill. It's supposed to do like 25 miles an hour. And it might do a little bit more since we're going to be going downhill. So let's see what she's got. Track and start. We're moving. It's got some pretty good punch. Make sure nobody's coming here. Yeah, it looks like 20 something. Uphill. One more downhill run and we'll take it on the track. Trying to be extra careful. I do not want to turn this thing over. Like I said, he let me borrow this car. He hasn't even seen it yet. What have we got? Stop and read. 25, exactly what the box said. Got good brakes. Trying not to wreck it because it's not mine. Back to the shop. All right, guys, that was pretty fun. I think he twisted my arms. I might have to put one on the whiteboard. Yeah, first impressions, it's a blast. I was being a little bit easy with it because I was afraid it was going to be a little top heavy with the hard molded body and the hard molded wing. But it never gave me any tendency of where it felt like it was going to tip over, even with the high traction running on concrete. It did exactly what the box said it would do, 25. The only gripe I have, it may be due to this radio, or just may need to be recalibrated. For some reason, it's got cruise control. This radio does not have a throttle trim. It only has steering rate and steering trim. And if you just touch the throttle, you got cruise control. I've seen it a few times. You just got to touch to reverse. I've seen it a few times out there where I just walked away from it and it took off, just running at a little slow speed. So we were being very careful not to just sit it on the table. I was afraid it was going to jump off by itself. It does it in both directions. Not as much in reverse, but just a few seconds ago it took off backwards once I set it down. It may just be a calibration thing. And so you just barely touch the throttle. It goes right back into like idle. Like it's up like 2 clicks on the throttle trim. And you just breathe on the trigger and it goes off. So It may just be a calibration thing. We may take it and try to recalibrate the radio. But other than that, no gripes whatsoever. It's a little noisy. It's got a unique sound. It's probably got metal gears in it. I don't know all the specs on that, so this may not be the best review. But I watched a video from a track up in Pennsylvania. They had like 30 of them the other night, and that video was live, and it was a unique sound. It was pretty loud, but very awesome car. A lot of fun to drive. Hopefully, Losi will support everything with, or will support this car with the parts and the upgrades. I'm sure they will, since they are selling a ton of these things already. But yeah, that was a blast. But I'm gonna get my battery out of this thing before it takes off, and dust it off a little bit. And we got a switch right here. The switch is accessible through the body. You have a notch right here. That's where your on and off switch is. So if it does run wild on you, you can grab it and turn it off. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. We got, let's see, check the temperature with finger. We got a little bit of, it might be just above ambient temperature. No fans on the speed controller or motor. The speed controller is cool. The motor is barely even lukewarm. So no complaints with electronics, other than we may need to calibrate the throttle. There is a program button on here, and I'm sure you can go through the program procedure if your car is doing that and fix it. I may look that up and go ahead and do that while we're here. But anyways, a lot of fun. Not a bad price. I think they're $350 with the ready to run without the battery. Alright guys, that's a wrap for today's video. I appreciate you hanging out while we ran the car out there in the driveway. Had a lot of fun. We need to get a couple more out there. It'd be a blast, and stretch that thing out a little bit. But leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you think. And hit that subscribe button while you're there. And don't forget to check the links below. And we'll see you next time. Thanks.